Can't hear. Can I hear? Nathan, are you talking?
I am now. Can
Oh,
you
there
hear
we
me now?
are.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah. Okay, we got it. Everybody's happy.
Cool.
Everybody's happy. I had to wear a hat for Jeremy.
Dude, everybody's got to wear a hat. It's the thing right now, you know?
The hat is on.
Wait, I don't have a hat. I should run downstairs and get a hat. I've
Yeah.
only got baseball caps though.
Yeah, go get a ball cap, man.
Oh, me too. I'll go get a Thunder
No,
ball cap.
it's fine. It's fine, Mitch. It's okay.
We love Thunder. Thunder's a great band.
Yeah. Well, this is exciting.
Yeah.
This is gonna be fun. You know, there's a lot of hype on Twitter, so now we have to make it kind of like, you know, worth watching now.
Now remember, he has stated emphatically that he is part lion and part rug.
Yes,
So.
part lion, part rug. Let's see that rug. Come on now. There you go. Let's see the bush. Come on.
It's such Tom Jones-esque body hair. Like, I'm pretty proud of it.
You know, I met Tom Jones once. It was actually kind of weird and funny. I was at the Savoy Hotel in London, and we were waiting to get a drink at the bar, but the bar was full, and my buddy was bartending, and he's like, "Just wait like 15 minutes. There's a guy there, and we'll get you in." I'm like, "All right, cool." So 15 minutes goes by. Who's walking out of the bar? Sir Tom Jones. So my buddy and I, Tom, were both like, "Oh, happy Christmas, Tom." And he's like, "Oh, happy Christmas. You all right?" And we chatted for like a couple of like minutes. And then we would sit at the bar. He's like, "Oh, yeah, Tom Jones was just sitting here." I'm like, "Dude, we were just talking to him." Random.
Very cool.
Super random. But in London, you never know. And if you're at the Savoy, you never know who you're going to run into.
Exactly.
Jeremy, I'm going to ask you this first, and so we can get this thing started. But you heard "We Will Ride" and you've heard "Inglorious" essentially for the first time. It didn't make your world. What's your first reaction to this? You like it? What do you think? I think it's great.
I love the fact that it's a band, right? It's a couple guys playing actual instruments, a dude that can actually sing and has pipes. It's rock and roll. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong with that.
No, you can't.
Thanks, guys. That's very nice to hear.
Yeah, man. So that's it. Inglorious. We Will Ride's coming out February 12th. You can pick it up. They're doing pre-orders for signed CDs and vinyls and everything. And how important is that for you as an artist to have actual physical copies of your CD? Because or vinyl, because it's not the same to just be tapping a screen, right?
No, I love the fact that all of our favorite albums, we will probably have on vinyl and CD, the great albums of yesteryear. So it's kind of cool to think that mine will be in someone's collection next to, say,
yes,
their Back in Black or their Appetite album. It will be in the same box, and that's kind of cool to me. So yeah, that's why it's important.
Dude, people are gonna be pulling out right next to Bon Jovi or something, just pulling out Inglorious. Yeah,
which is gonna be great. Let me talk this real quick. The band has had a lineup change, or 3 new guys have come in: Danny, Dan, and Vinny. How does that affect what you do, and does it change the sound, or is Inglorious still Inglorious because you're the voice and that's what people sort of gravitate to?
I think the sound has changed pretty much every record, regardless of the lineup. But yeah, it's just growth, right?
Right.
Like if we put out 4 albums that sounded the same, it would be dull.
The only band that can do that is AC/DC, by the way.
Yeah, literally, that's it. The only band.
Yeah.
There's no others that can do that. But yeah, for me, I wanted to kind of show that we have growth, but that happened naturally just from bringing a producer on board, because it's the first time we've ever been produced. So now all of a sudden we got like a new producer and loads of expensive gear, and it just sounds mega in comparison to anything we've done previously, I think.
Right, and especially when you're working with a producer like that who's done stuff, with Bring Me the Horizon, and it's like, some big sounding records. It's like, I'm sure that does in fact elevate your game in the studio as well.
Definitely made us work harder, and we felt the pressure of like, he's had some great musicians, and he's made some great selling records. So we wanted to be as good as them. We wanted to deliver, and we wanted to be something that he would be proud of producing, which is kind of cool, because yesterday I checked on his website and we've made it up to the website, so we're like,
nice.
Inglorious on website. So I'm like, cool, we did it. Thank you. Like,
Yeah, that'd be pretty bad, if you didn't make the producer's
I
discography
know.
on the website.
Yeah, yeah, he's hiding it like, shh, no, don't tell people I worked with them.
There's this
Shh.
shit record with Inglorious. Oh God, I just want it deleted from history.
No, but talk to me about giving that up in the studio, because you have, of course, done your own stuff, and you've had a very clear vision of what Nathan is and what your career is. Was it difficult to sort of hand over the reins and say, okay, you tell us what to do?
No, I find being told what to do a struggle
Yes.
usually.
Yes.
However, when it's from someone who is like way better than me, I don't struggle with it at all. You know, like I don't go into an operating theatre and tell someone how to operate on me. Do you know what I mean? Like they're better at that than me. I'm gonna let them do that. So same goes in the studio. I don't know the fucking difference between this guitar sound and this guitar sound. So if you think this is the best one, cool. Like that's your job. That's why I'm paying you. Make it sound great. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's almost like having sex. You want the other person to tell you what you're doing right and not.
You imagine.
Yeah, we get feedback. That's what we need.
Constructive criticism.
Um, yeah. Talk to me about releasing an album in this context, because normally we go out there and we tour and you plan some shows and you go do live TV appearances and live radio appearances, and there's a whole machine that comes into place. Now you sort of can't do that. It comes out, and before anybody gets to see you play live, it could be 6 months, could be 10 months, might even be a year. How do you promote it and get the word out?
Just, it's no secret that I am a social media whore. You know, like
Mhm.
I love it. So I've been just trying to shove it down people's throats, really. Just like buy the album. Like we earned no money last year because no one could tour.
Right.
So when people buy an album, they know that that sale from our website goes directly to the band, which is helping us. So when we can eventually go back out and tour, we're not skint. You know, I don't want to take the band back to the place where it was in the beginning, where we were just kind of starting off. And I feel like that's happened for a lot of artists during this
Yeah.
COVID situation, especially on my level. The bigger bands, I don't think have felt it so much, but people, grassroots kind of bands, are struggling. So yeah, we're looking forward to playing these songs live. But who knows, man? Who the hell?
Let me ask you this, being an artist in the UK and coming up in the rock scene and stuff, even today, right now, you're putting out this new album in a couple of weeks, and with the great singles that have come off this album already, it's like, do you get support from Radio X and Absolute Radio? Do you get, does the BBC, give you guys spins? Is there support in the home country, or are they just kind of like, nah?
The main outlet for rock in this country is Planet Rock. Like
Planet Rock,
they're the biggest rock radio station, and they have been supportive of us from day one. I think we're now at, this might be my 11th playlisted single on there over four
great.
albums, which is pretty great. And off our first album, they put 4 on. So like
Wow.
we've done really well from those guys. Obviously, classic rock is British. They've been really nice. Now, it took 4 albums, but we got a really good review. So that's cool, and a feature and all sorts of stuff. But as far as other radio, I'm doing a spot on Radio 2, BBC Radio 2 next week, the week the album comes out. But apart from that, there's just no, unless you're the Foo Fighters, you're not getting played on Radio X,
Yeah,
It's
that's what I was always wondering that, like, is Chris Moyles calling you guys up and saying, "Hey, come on the show, let's play your new song," or like do the local commercial stations in London, support you guys?
No, and that goes but not just us, that goes for all kind of rock in our genre, especially this kind of more classic hard rock stuff.
Hmm.
They just don't, which is why it's so great that Planet Rock, you've got a million weekly listeners, I think, are playing us.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this then, because you did do the TV show and you were doing you were singing sort of the current hits of the day. Why go down the rock route? Why not take that fan base from the TV show and go deliver songs that are pop, that are more like Drake, that are more like Post Malone? Why not go down that route? Because your voice certainly could handle it. I mean, you certainly have the ability to go down that. Why not be a pop star rather than a rock star?
Or be a country guy. Why not be a Chris Stapleton?
Yeah.
I I fucking hate country. I find English dudes singing country music to be the dumbest shit I've ever heard. I don't understand it. It makes no sense. I'm not from the deep south. I don't have a pickup truck. I do not ride a horse. I'm not
Right.
singing a song about the fucking
But,
country.
but
You're not
you've got you certainly got the look for it. You got the hat. You
Oh, fuck you, Mitch. It's not country look. What the hell's wrong with you? He's not singing about fucking his sister and driving a pickup truck. Come on now. Jeez, I'm offended because I'm wearing a hat and I'm wearing, a little
oh
country.
yeah, but you're covering a bald spot. That's a different story.
No!
Man.
Wow. I was the one that was scared. It should have been you, Jeremy. Jeez.
No, but I mean, would it have been easier or smarter career-wise to say, listen, I'm just going to be a pop star and I'm just going to go sing pop songs because that's top 40 radio?
It might have been a bit of financial move, but as far as like authenticity, it's very clear what music I like and what I sound good singing, and I left that TV show to join the Trans-Siberian Orchestra straight away. So my path kind of was written from then, really. I love rock. Rock is in my blood, and I saw a bit of a gap in the market here, which is kind of what inspired this band happening in the first place. Is that there was no one who could really belt out a tune and really play guitar, necessarily.
So let me ask you then that. Why be a band? I mean, you did have, again, I'm going to go back to the TV thing. People knew who Nathan was. Why not just the Nathan James solo band doing the music you love? Why was it important to be a band and say, yeah, this is the drummer, this is the guitarist, you know?
Why have a band name? Why not just be Nathan James?
Because that came actually from our A&R guy, who's a guy called Derek Shulman. I don't know if you know Derek.
I do.
Derek signed famously Bon Jovi, Nickelback, etc. He kind of discovered me, and when he got me the deal, he sat me down and said, "Who are your heroes?" And I said, "Okay, Robert Plant, Freddie Mercury, David Coverdale." And I listed off all these dudes, and he said, "You didn't say Meatloaf, and you didn't say Alice Cooper. Every dude you love is in a band." And I was like, "Yeah, you're right. I want to front an awesome band. I love the power of 5 people creating something together that are all invested in that to the same level, rather than it just be me writing songs or just about me and they all get paid like a wage. I want to be part of something that is powerful, because ultimately the best live acts of all time are those bands,
Yeah, no, that's very true. You're right. They all are part of band. David Lee Roth, Van Halen.
Well, listen, to be fair, though, Alice Cooper was a band until he went solo, 10 years into the career. So
yeah,
to be fair, it was the Alice Cooper band before it was Alice Cooper, to be fair. But okay, so that's an interesting take on it. Now, just talk to me a little bit about, about We Will Ride. In terms of putting it together, are these songs that you worked on with the producer and the band, or are these songs where you just said, "Hey guys, I got 10 songs, let's go record them"? Walk me through the process of getting to the finished album.
An Inglorious album is always a real group effort. So I get heavily inspired by riffs and guitars. Guitar music is what I love. So what will happen is the guys will bring me a riff, and I will decide whether or not I want to take it further and turn it into a song. We create a kind of track for it, and then I go away and I add a melody and a top line. I usually start with a hook, and then that dictates what the song is going to be written about. However, this time I was like, okay, it'd be cool to get kind of a few different flavors in. So I actually asked, I know you had Joel on here the other day. Joel Hoekstra contributed 2 riffs to the album, which we turned into 2 songs. And a friend of mine who I met on a TV show, actually, who is a country writer, he he wrote a song.
I know.
Called "I Have the Storm with Me," and different people get different things out of you as a writer and as a singer. So to me, it made that kind of varied album that has real highs and lows and different colors. And yeah, it's nice to show off these new guys, because although they're not new to me, on a recording, they are new. This is their first record. This is Danny, who's 21, my guitarist's first ever album. So
Wow.
it's pretty cool to put it out there and to think we wrote She Won't Let You Go before he was even in the band, like 3 years ago.
Wow.
Talk to me about finding a guitarist and what you look in for them, because you've played with Uli John Roth. You've done the Trans-Siberian Orchestra, who have great guitarists in it. You've done all this other stuff. When it's time to get a new guitarist and you have to audition or find Danny, what were you looking for in him?
It's the same thing I was looking for in all the guitarists that have been in this band. Is that one person who
Looks first and skills second.
No, it's always skill first for me, because like you say, Mitch, I've played with Uli, I've performed with Steve Vai, Bernie Marsden, Al Petrelli. The list of guitarists that I've been lucky enough to work with is quite remarkable. And
Absolutely.
I love an amazing guitar player. I also need someone who's a performer, and I need someone who, when I want to go off and, I don't know, have a piss or like have a drink, I know that I can let them go up to the front and they can shred and they can hold the crowd, because ultimately a lead guitar player should be a star, and I've definitely got that in Danny. He's 21 years old and he's just breathtaking. And he's a mate, and we have great chemistry. You know, I discovered him on YouTube. He covered our first single like 5 years ago. Met him
Really?
first tour.
Wow.
Then he actually became our guitar tech for like a year. And then I said to him when the last guys left, I rang him straight away. I was like, dude, you're in the band. Like, he kind of like worked his way up, which is crazy to think. I met when he was 15. And now he's on stage. Like,
He started in the mail room and worked his way up to the actual corporate office and being in the guitar. That's good.
yeah,
It's like journey backwards. So it's like Arnell discovering Neil on this kind. It's fantastic.
Right.
yeah, I'm very lucky to have found him, and he loves this music. Again, same thing. Danny could be playing for anyone, you know. He's mind blowing, and I'm sure one day he will get those gigs, you know, like when Nuno retires from Rihanna or something. Danny will be called. That's what I think.
Right.
So those kind of things for me make me feel super lucky to be in a band with him, because I know he's got a promising career.
But is that kind of like, are you scared that the guitar player might become a bigger star than you? Because, look at what happened with Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen was the bigger star than Dave, and Dave couldn't handle that. Dave wasn't going to be outshone, and, had to leave the band and start his own thing. And
But he joined a band that's named after the guitarist. Like, what are you doing? Like, don't expect. You kind of knew the deal, right?
kind of, yeah.
That's the deal. Like, you're joining. Anyway,
Same thing with Bon Jovi. Hey,
Yeah.
you joined.
I'm not scared of that. Danny loves this music, and it's truly the only thing that gives him an outlet to play like his heroes, you know, to play like Yngwie or like Slash, or there's not many things going on musically elsewhere where he could play like this. So
That's true. Yeah, it really is kind of like a specific set of skills that are required.
Hold on. Your microphone is squelching.
Can you hear me now?
No.
No? Hello? Hello?
What? No.
Can you hear me?
No, you sound like a robot.
What the fuck?
What the hell happened there? He just collapsed. Wow. Well, he'll be back. He'll be back.
Photo of him there.
That's his radio station profile.
Yo, can you hear me?
And that sounds awful.
What the fuck? Is it my connection?
I don't know, but it sounds as though we're listening to a robot.
Oh, that's so weird. I don't know what the hell happened.
Well, I guess you can sit there quietly and I'll finish this.
Better? Can you hear me now? No? Sounds like shit?
Horrible.
Okay, yeah. All right, well, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Hey.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm using my webcam microphone. That's weird. I don't know what the hell happened.
Yeah, it just died.
Very weird.
But let us continue. Let me just ask you this in terms of the band. When you get started, and you've said that some of the bands, have had a hard time through the pandemic, how do you sort of keep this train rolling? And has there been times over the first 4 albums where you've just said, this is too hard, this is too much of a road to try to go through? I'm done. I mean, how do you sort of keep it moving and keep it going, given the fact that radio doesn't support it, given the fact that you can't tour right now, given the fact that getting over to North America is expensive? How do you sort of keep the motivation and the desire to keep going?
In the UK, like we're a working band, you know. So like for the last couple of years, we've earned a living from this, and that's great. I wouldn't be doing it otherwise. I left TSO to pursue this, you know.
Right.
So it does work here at a level, and to me, it comes down to authenticity again. I know this is what I should be doing, and this is what I should be singing, and until the day that that we get no support, I'm going to keep going with it because I love doing it. People are listening to it, and we're still.
Well, the fan reaction has been, let's just call it what it is. The fan reaction has been fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, you came out of nowhere and people said, "Oh my God, this Inglorious album is fantastic." And then the second album came out and they go, "Oh my God, this album's better than the first album." And, you know, they weren't saying that for some of the older rock stars that were putting out albums. They were going, "Oh, you know, so-and-so's got a new album." Yeah. But they'd go, "Oh my God, is this Inglorious?" And I think it might even be safe to say that this is the best one of the four, and the other three are fucking fantastic, right?
Yeah, thank you, man. No, I really appreciate that because I think that obviously I'm going to say that. I'm going to be like, actually, I think our last one was the best one. Go buy that. No, but fucking buy this one. Buy this one. Yeah, I think it's a cool story as well. Like how many bands have been through these kind of lineup changes? There's loads of them, dude. Like literally loads, and there's trials and tribulations, but ultimately if people want to keep paying money to buy a CD or a vinyl or come to a show, buy a t-shirt, I'm going to keep doing it because it's the one thing that truly makes me happy, I suppose. Yeah, I'm happy.
It is too much made out of lineup changes, because you look at Judas Priest, you know, Rob Halford wasn't the first singer. You look at Iron Maiden, you know, Bruce wasn't the first singer. You look at Buck Cherry, their big album 15, they had pretty much cleaned the slate and brought in a whole new team. Do people make too much out of lineup changes?
What I've been trying to tell people is that in order for it to continue, you have to. Those lineup changes have to happen because it wasn't working. So either when those guys decided to leave to pursue their own projects, good luck to them. It's really hard starting afresh, let me tell you. When they decided to do that, I could have sacked it all in. But what a waste of my like 4 years that I'd spent building this together. What a waste of my time. I wasn't letting someone else waste my time.
No.
And this is my baby. It's always been my baby. They auditioned to be in my band. And I'm super happy that now I've got a bunch of guys around me who feel the same way and want the same thing. We want to be in a great band. We don't want to be great individuals. We want to be in a great band.
Well, but look what one of your heroes, David Coverdale. I mean, David Coverdale has been Whitesnake for whatever, almost 45 years. And how many players has he had? 87?
Yeah. He is Whitesnake.
Right.
I've toured and worked with 9 of the Whitesnake guitar players. So when you think like there's been 9, and that's just the ones I've worked with or toured with.
Yeah.
So that it is incredible, but he never had to deal with the social media aspect of all of the lineup changes. So when David Coverdale changed his band, you read about it in a magazine and you couldn't write, "Oh, David Coverdale must be really hard work because he's changing his band." He never had that. He could just go home, have a glass of wine, chill out, not give a fuck. But in this day and age, it's very different because people will just, you've seen those forums and those classic rock posts where it's just hate and assumption and hate and.
Well, do you deal with that? Do you have people saying like, "Oh yeah, third guitar sound, Nathan James is a prick to work with"? Like, you know, people are calling to say like, you know, like as if you're a diva or something.
Yeah, they are, and I find it amazing because it's not. I never left my band. Do you know what I mean? Like the guys left the band. Like if you're mad at anyone, don't be mad at me. I'm still trying to do this. I want to perform. You can come and hear these songs. Also, if you don't like the band at all, just keep your mouth shut and piss off because no one invited you to comment. If you haven't bought my album and if you're not coming to my shows, I don't actually give a crap what you think.
Yeah,
I agree.
I mean, that's pretty straightforward, you know.
We'll start wrapping up, but I just want to get in my obligatory Scorpions question. You of course, like we said, you worked with Uli. What was it like putting your voice to some of those classic songs, to putting it to Dark Lady and Catch Your Train? And as I've told you, I appreciate it because I actually got to understand the lyrics for the first. I'm like, they were saying that?
An English man singing English lyrics.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was hard, dude. Like filling in for singing the lyrics of someone who's got such a famous, iconic sound is really tricky. So I could either like give it like a fake German accent, which wouldn't have gone down very well, or I could kind of put my own spin on it. And I was lucky that Uli let me do that. He was so kind in that whole process. And yeah, I loved it. God, the early Scorpion stuff is so good. It's so much fun. Great fun to sing. And I actually flew to Japan with Uli to perform a couple of shows in Japan and recorded a live album there.
Yeah, which I have.
Yeah.
But the way you approach like the song "Pictured Life" is it's just powerful. It's just great. You know,
Yeah, I tried to sing it like. Luckily, me and Klaus have a very similar range. It just sits kind of a bit more fuller for me. In order for me to get those notes out, I wasn't going, oh, follow them, you know, I was going, hey, like just singing it more in a Coverdale-esque way, you know?
Right.
I was just less German, I guess.
By the way, how does Klaus sing it again? I missed that.
I'm not doing it again.
That's okay. That'll be the clip that you're going to clip out and put on Twitter.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
little.
It's going to be the headline on Blabbermouth. Nathan James throws shade at Klaus Main.
It's not shade. That's just. Down to Conky Bar. That's how he sounds. I love it. It's
Yeah.
iconic.
Right.
It's just not. It's not me. Yeah. It's not me.
That's great. Well, before we wrap up, you know, with this new album, We Will Ride, coming out on February 12th, you can pre-order it right now wherever music is sold. I want to talk to you about your hair care regimen because your locks are very soft looking. So talk to me about your conditioning process and how do you get that luscious look?
Why didn't you ask Mitch this?
I use Dove soap, the bar. I just
You use bar soap on your head? No wonder you're bald. God.
Oh,
it works. Look how shiny it is.
so
Jesus.
yeah, I use a fantastic product called It's a 10, and
It's a 10.
yeah, and it apparently does 10 things to your hair. It's a leave-in conditioner, and without it, I can't get a fucking brush through my hair. So it is super good. Treat yourself. Go get
Product
some.
placement right there.
Yeah, I like that. Moisturize, gents. Come on now. God.
Oh, there you
All
go.
right.
So
Well, yeah, there you go.
we will
Aside from my technical difficulties this afternoon, and you know, Mitch being a prick, this is great today.
it's terrific.
This is
Hey.
awesome.
At least I didn't throw shade on Klaus mine. So, you know.
That is true. At least you weren't talking shit about, you know, your 3 other guitar players the entire time and how much they quit the band. It's not his fault.
I'm just gonna kill myself. So
Yeah. We will ride off into the sunset, folks. No, We Will Ride. Great album. And there's a song on there, My Misery, which I think is what we're all experiencing right now. But that song is just absolutely terrific. Go check this out.
And the music video for Medusa is fantastic too. You know, how
Yes.
did you guys shoot that music video through this isolation thing and everything? Like, did you guys have to pick like one day in the studio each and then go cut it, or?
we kind of like took turns. So like someone would do a morning and someone would do an afternoon. But yeah, it's cool. That song, as I said, was written by Joel Hoekstra and myself. And there's obviously, I don't know if you know Mitch, you must have seen I'm doing a project with Joel
Yep.
and Michael Sweet and Tommy Aldrich and Marco Mendoza. So yeah, it's an exciting year for me, and I'm super excited about getting out there and not doing my Klaus Meine impression ever again.
Nice.
Yeah. And that project, with the exception of Michael Sweet, you're essentially fronting Whitesnake.
I didn't say that. You said that.
Yes, the band's not going to be called Whitesnake. They're going to call it White Puppy or something. It'll be just a little bit little different.
I obviously, as a fan of that band and Coverdale being my hero, my rock god, it is kind of cool to think that I'm going to be on an album with 2 current members and 1 ex-member of Whitesnake.
Yeah,
That to me is amazing.
And Jeremy
Yeah.
does the best David Coverdale impression. Go ahead.
No, I don't. It's okay. I do not. By the way, your band isn't called Whitesnake. It'll be called Brown Snake, because if the music is shit, well, then you can say, oh, look at our name.
Oh my God! There you go.
It
This is
won't be shit, I promise.
Nice.
and there we go. And folks, well, we will ride. There we go.
Yeah. There you go.
And-
We will ride, man. Available everywhere. February 12th. Go buy it. Go pre-order. Go buy the vinyl. Buy the CD. Support the guys. You know, they need it. You know, support them. So this way, and you know, you need the CD. So this way, when you meet them after the show and you get, you know, the backstage pass from being hot in the crowd, you got something to sign aside from your tits or cock. You know.
Absolutely. We learned that from touring with Steel Panther.
Steel Panther's awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we did 2 tours with them, and it was friggin' amazing.
Good guys.
They're really good fun.
They're good. All right, man. Well, it's great to chat.
Thank you, Nathan. Thank you, Nathan.
Pleasure. Thank you, boys.
Merci. Bonsoir, as we
Hey,
say.
wait. Don't leave yet.